Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, with an absolute banger for you today, folks. Yes, this is about Kathy Hochul. Yes, it's about what an idiot she is and how she takes the bait. But it's not just Kathy Hochul who takes the bait. Democrats across the country take the bait. And you are going to see that in their report and how they are basically shoring up electoral losses for the next century if they continue on this path. So it starts with this. There's a congestion tax in New York. I'll explain what that is, but I just want you to see what Donald Trump did to trigger them. From the White House account, he puts out, congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king, President Donald J. Trump. Did this mock time cover. Okay, now all of us who are in conservative land, we don't want a king. You know, we don't like the whole British idea. But I love this post with Barrett in the background saying, now say long live the king to really trigger the tards. And watch the result of this.
President Trump sent shockwaves through the tri-state and around the nation yesterday, comparing himself to a king as his administration moved to try and kill New York's congestion pricing program. The move sparked outcry from top officials and public transit advocates across the Hudson, but plenty of praise from New Jersey politicians who have rallied against the tolling scheme for months. New York leaders are already fighting back in court and say they'll keep the cameras on until a judge tells them to stop. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan reports.
Say, the cameras are staying on.
This is so beautiful on so many fronts, but let me give you two big takeaways out of this. One is he has the New Jersey and the New York City governor opposed now in an open public fight. So he's creating division in the ranks of the Democrat Party that's already deeply divided. Furthermore, he goes on to out them as the people who want to tax the poor and the working class. See, it's okay if you're making, well, let's say you've got $100 million net worth. Do you care about the congestion tax? No, because this will give you more time because you will actually have less congestion because people can't pay it. So you're going to be able to open up the streets a little bit more and you'll have more time as a result of it. But the underlings, the serfs, well, you know, they're just going to have to pay or not use their own cars. And this is what it applies to. So it doesn't apply to vehicles using these three routes, FDR, Route 9A, and Battery Park Underpass. But Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, Williamsburg Bridge, Queens Midtown Tunnel, so on and so forth. It applies to all of these others. And the congestion pricing zone covers all of Manhattan here. Now, look at how they're trying to sell it. Of the 3.8 million New York City residents who commute to work, who potentially pays congestion tolls? Well, it's only 15,500 low-income essential workers. You know, 128,000 people, but these 15,500, we don't really care about them. Who gains? Well, 2.217 New York City residents who rely on mass transit to get to work because they're going to take and refunnel the money to the mass transit so they can keep the serfs on the train. They have outed themselves through this, but it gets better.
We are keeping the cameras on.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul defiantly vowed to fight the Trump administration's order yanking federal approval for congestion pricing barely 7 weeks after the toll cameras turned on January 5th.
New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. And we are not. We sure as hell are not going to start now. Think about this. Next time you're stuck in traffic.
Hochul and the MTA immediately sued to vacate the order. Across the river, Governor Murphy welcomed Donald Trump's attack on the toll plan.
He had said publicly he was opposed to it. So he's been following through.
Do you see how this works? They're outed because of their outrage. They can't help themselves. So he puts out a tweet. And immediately they feel the need to respond. The media feels they need to respond. Yet he's created division because there's Governor Phil Murphy going, well, he is following through, which the American public like too, because by a 70-30 split, they feel that Trump is delivering on the promises of his campaign. So people like this. And you don't believe me? Check this out with Frank Luntz on CNN. Neither are a friend of Trump.
We wanted to have you on because you do a lot of focus groups. You really get behind the numbers, the poll numbers, to the sentiments of voters. And it's so interesting. You've been speaking with a number of voters who were Hillary Clinton 2016, Joe Biden 2020, and then went for Trump in 2024. How are these folks seeing the early days of Trump's second term?
Pretty well.
Really?
And they're reacting to it because they love the pace of change. They were very fed up over the last 4 years. They wanted action. They wanted results. They looked at prices. They looked at affordability, looked at immigration, and they didn't see anything happening. They still don't like what he says, but they like what he does. And these are Democrats now who felt that they were not securing the border. They were doing nothing to prevent illegal immigration, that nothing was actually happening. They wanted to see a reduction in wasteful Washington spending, and they're seeing that. So what they tell me is, I wish you'd be a little bit less rude. But at the same time, they like what he's doing. They believe he's serious about it. And for the first time, they have confidence in the future.
Imagine that. Democrats actually want some waste, fraud, and abuse gone. I'm talking actual old school Democrats, not these radical leftists and their friends in the media who want to just propagate lies all the time about how, oh, federal workers, they got it so bad, or, oh, what about people getting sent home? They shouldn't have been here in the first place. We were very concerned about illegal immigration all across the country. And yet the mainstream media keeps trying to attack Donald Trump on these things. And it's not working out for him.
We've been covering at length
salaries.
Where the money is going to.
No, you haven't. All y'all do is run down Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and you continuously do this, and that's why your ratings are in the tank, ma'am.
All right, Congressman Tim Burchett, we're going to leave it there. I do appreciate your time coming on and having this conversation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't think she really appreciated what Tim Burchett had to say or him coming on. But remember the sign? Did you see that sign? It said $9. So they want to charge $9 just for the privilege to drive around Manhattan when they're already paying tolls in excess of $10 just to cross the bridge. Now they want to charge them more on roads that they've already paid for through their taxes, and they pitch it as an environmental thing. Like, what? But here's where it gets really wild, because not only are they going to charge $9, but Kathy Hochul is about to tell you that the $9 is a savings over what they should be charging you.
So I made the decision to put the congestion pricing program on pause while we devise a different path forward. State law requires that congestion pricing simultaneously raise money for the MTA and drive down traffic congestion. These are important priorities. But I believe that no New Yorker should have to pay a penny more than absolutely necessary to achieve these goals. And $15 was too much. And I'm proud to announce we have found a path to fund the MTA, reduce congestion, and keep millions of dollars in the pockets of our commuters. Under this plan, the MTA will implement a congestion pricing plan with a reduced daytime toll of $9 beginning in January.
A penny more than absolutely necessary? I think what's necessary is zero. But where is the money in New York going? That's the real question, right? Well, you guys know. Illegal immigrants. Illegal immigration. How much has New York spent on illegal immigration? Billions and billions of dollars. And now they're trying to tell you that as a commuter, you need to pay an extra $9, but it's actually a savings off the $15 that they should have charged you. But she's such a great queen that she's going to just save you all this money. It's wild. And they are rounding up illegals in New York right now and deporting them. So I think there'll be some savings there, Kathy. Probably don't need to charge anybody the $9. And, you don't need to help your friends out who are hedge fund managers. You can actually just do the will of the people. Hey, go check out my sponsor, MyPillow, mypillow.com. Use promo code Lumberjack for big savings on the best sleep products available. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.